In the name of God, baby, we're back. Pizza time, episode 5. Today, we got a special guest here. This is my beautiful grandmother. In our culture, we don't say grandmother, we say Nonna. So this is my Nonna. That's Sicilian culture right there. We're gonna go over her life. You know, she's the roots here. You know, she's the one who got us started here. She's the backbone. She holds a special place in the family, in the business, you name it. She was the start of it. So this is a really special episode, and I hope you guys really enjoy this. To get started, Nonna, for the people who don't know you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Antonietta. I was born in Sicily, Palermo. I came to this country when I was 13 years old with my sister. We were immigrants from Italy, from Sicily. And we rooted in Brooklyn, New York, and we lived there. It was beautiful, but I didn't speak a word of English, so it wasn't so easy. So started going to school, and I went to elementary school, and I started to learn the English language. It was tough, but I made it through. And going to school, and we were happy. My whole family worked. We started to make money, and we ate better, and my whole family was happy. And after a while, I started going to beauty parlors. I was going to help sweep floors, hand clips. It kept me busy on the weekends after school. And then I went to high school, and I did not finish high school. I wanted to go to beauty school and get my license. And I became a hairdresser. Very happy, very successful, made a lot of money, and helping my mother out. And my mom was happy. I was bringing her money, and at the age of 18, I got married. Opened my own shop in Brooklyn. It was called Queen of Beauty. And was working. I had my own shop. Was very happy again, making money. And while I was married, my husband decided to open up a pizzeria. So we moved to South Jersey, where we bought a pizzeria and started working there, being successful. And I was home with the kids, raising my family. I had 2 kids then, and was home with the family, raised my family, and helped them on the weekends in the pizzeria. And it was good. It was good.
So I want to get back to the beginning, the roots. Now, you were specifically born in Cinisi, Sicily, right? Am I saying that correct?
Yeah, Cinisi.
Cinisi.
Yes.
What was it like growing up there? I want to hear about your life as a child, your family back in the motherland. What was that like?
My life there was it was hard. It was really hard. I remember going to school. I loved going to school there. I loved it. But it was not easy. We were poor. And, my mother did ends meet. But we survived. We survived.
What was the family life like there growing up? Did you have Sunday dinners there? Did you guys invite the cousins over?
It was, we didn't have a lot with the family. We were, I had 2 sisters and my brother, and we were, most of the time we were home with the family.
And when you say that you were poor, was that common in your area to be poor? Or were you facing the struggles of being lower class compared to the other people around?
No, everybody was about the same. Yeah.
Everybody was struggling.
Yeah. I mean, there was people well off, but we were average people. Like,
so was it coming to America that you were searching, the family was searching?
Yes, especially my mom and dad, especially my mom, because she was a hard worker, very ambitious woman. She was thrilled to come to America, thrilled.
Now, how about for you coming to America? Were you nervous? Were you excited? What was your feelings?
I remember I was scared. It was the very first time. Planes was at the beginning, because everybody then came by boat, and we were one of the first to come by plane. And we were scared to get on a plane. But me and my sister, my middle sister, we came. Yeah, we came.
Now, how about the transition? Not just, I'm sure, going on the plane, being the beginning days of planes. I'm sure that was nerve-wracking. How about the cultural change? What it felt like being a kid, knowing that you're going to move to a completely different country. Did you even know what you were really getting into?
No.
How'd you feel about that? Were you nervous about this transition?
Yes, I was scared, and I cried a lot, because even when I went to school, kids were making fun of me because I didn't speak the language. I had no help. But before 6 months, I was already speaking in English.
Sure.
And things started to get better.
Right.
Once you learn the language, it gets easier.
Did you have friends back in Sicily that you were, leaving behind?
Yeah, the neighbors. Yeah, my next door neighbors' kids, yeah.
Now, what kind of big differences did you experience coming from Sicily to New York? Whether it be cultural differences, technological differences, what kind of things stood out to you as a child coming here that you were like, wow, I didn't even know that things like this existed?
One thing that I realized was these big cars. Everything was bigger. Everything was beautiful. I have never experienced anything beautiful like America.
So they had smaller cars in Italy, or you just weren't seeing cars?
No, they were smaller. There were smaller cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the buildings, I assume, is another thing.
The building, everything, the streets, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what age did you start working in New York?
I would say at 17.
And what made you choose to be a hairdresser? What about that stood out to you?
I choose to be a hairdresser because I started from Sicily. Right after 5th grade, I was going to the shop as an apprentice.
Okay.
So I already started there.
Okay.
Then I came here and I proceeded with the...
Why did you start being a hairdresser? Why did you start that in Sicily?
That's what I like to do.
Okay.
It was in me to do hair.
Okay.
Be creative.
What about that? Was it the creativity of putting your creative touch on things? Was it making people feel more beautiful as they leave the salon? What about it drew you to it?
I just love to make people look beautiful. And and be creative and make them feel good.
That's interesting because, as you guys can see, we see that in herself today. The way she presents herself, she always looks beautiful. I've never seen her, with her hair even messed up a little bit, or she's always to the T. So, that makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, being a young, working Italian in what time period are we talking about right now? What year did you come over?
I came to the country in 1963.
Okay, so you were working maybe in the 70s. You were working.
Yeah, I would say even before.
Now, being a young Italian immigrant working in New York at such a young age, what was that like? Do you feel like you faced any kind of discrimination? Do you feel as if people treated you a certain way?
No, I was treated really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So the people in America were very welcoming.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Wow. That was
I worked in the Jewish area, and people just loved to get their hair done. They just waited there. They would sit on benches and just wait for me to do their hair. Yeah.
You got to understand, she was probably surrounded by a lot of people like herself. A lot of immigrants migrated to that area, that region.
Okay.
A lot of people went to New York.
Right. So that area was densely populated with immigrants from other countries.
Yes.
Was it specifically Italians that were in that area?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like mixed.
Yeah?
Yes.
Like what other kind of ethnicities, what other countries did you see people coming from?
At that time, it was all kinds of people.
Okay.
All kinds of people.
Now, you mentioned that from a young age, you were helping pay the bills, you had this sense of independent woman, You were helping pay the bills, you helped your mother, you came home, you gave your mother money that you were making. Where'd that come from? Is that ancestral, Is that something from your ancestors to be that way? Is that tradition? Or did your parents kind of teach you to be this independent woman who helps around the house like that?
No, it's just, it was a culture. My older sister did it for my mom and my whole family, and I thought it was my duty and my job, I guess, to help my family. I didn't keep any money. I gave everything to my mom.
So it almost felt natural.
Not very natural.
Okay.
Very. I gave everything to my mom.
I ask because that's not something that we see today.
No.
Not even close.
No.
Sure. That's dead.
My mom was the head of the house and my dad, and I thought it was my duty to help my family.
Were your parents, what were your parents doing at the time, work-wise?
My mom was working in a factory, and my sister. My dad worked in the beauty parlor as a janitor, cleaning, sweeping floors, whatever he could do.
How were they doing financially at the time without your help? If they didn't have your help, how were they doing on their own financially?
They were doing good.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
My mother was a seamstress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was a seamstress.
She made dresses. She
Okay.
made
My mom,
clothes.
yeah.
Okay.
My mom worked in a factory making gowns.
So they came here and they really brought the American dream to life, huh?
Yes, hard worker. Hard worker.
That's beautiful.
Hard worker.
Beautiful. When we refer to these times, we typically refer to them as the good old days, right? What do you miss most about the good old days? What about those times do you cherish, do you miss, do you, you think about and you reflect on?
I miss my family. I miss my family. I miss my mom, my dad, my whole family, my sister. My older sister was like my mom. She was 15 years older than me. I loved her to death.
So
I
you
miss
guys,
her.
how would you describe your family? Like you guys were tight-knit, I assume.
Yes, yes. When we were all at home, we were tight as a family. But once you get married and you move on, you start to slack off a little bit.
Sure.
Everybody's on their own, making their own plans for their future.
Do you almost wish that you would have spent more time at home and not growing up so fast and
Yes.
getting out of the home?
It was a beautiful time. I miss it. Yeah. And now that I'm older, I think about things I should have said to my mom that I didn't say.
Sure.
Because now I see, I remember all the things that she used to tell me that I didn't think they were important, and now they're very important.
I think a lot of people feel that same way.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Look back and we say, what could I have said differently? How could I make this person
Yes.
feel more appreciated? You know? But me and my dad have spoke about it in the past. A lot of times, you could get the best advice from someone. At the end of the day, we just kind of do what we want to do,
Right.
regardless.
Right.
You know, it's only till years later, after it's a bit too late, that you say, you know what, I'm actually going to instill
Yes.
what they told me. So
Yes.
I don't think you're alone in feeling that way.
Oh my God, it's so. You get older and your mentality changes.
Sure. Yeah, no, I think that's a really common thing. Speaking on the topic of family, what's something that you always wanted to instill in your children? Things that you did instill in them, things that you taught them at a young age that they might have not picked up on at the time, but they picked it up later and they thank you for it later. What's some of the core values that you really wanted to drive into your family of your own?
You mean as I got older?
Right, with your children.
Faith, religion. I started to bring that into my kids as they got older, which I think they picked it up really good.
And when did you start to pick up on that?
I started to pick that up through the struggles of life. That made me turn more toward God.
And this is what, as you were an adult, like as a child, you weren't religious?
No, not as much.
Is that something that your parents tried to instill in you, or something that you came up with on your own?
No, my family was very religious, my whole family.
And as a child, did you kind of push it off as they put it on you?
Yes.
But it took the time and the struggle for you looked for somebody, you searched for somebody.
I saw the light. I
Right.
saw the light,
Right.
yes.
Now, how's that reflected in your life? How's that affected your life? Her always being a religious woman, speaking of God.
I didn't really pay attention to it for a long time.
Sure.
I didn't see the light for a long time. Then as time passes, you understand and you realize that you got to have belief, you got to believe, you got to have faith. And as you do that, you see your life get better. You start to appreciate life more. The little things become more important. The other stuff, the cars and all that other stuff, becomes less important. Doesn't mean you still don't like it. It's just not as important. But as you gravitate more to faith, the more faith you have, the more blessings come your way. It's just the way it works. And unless you're in it and living it, you won't understand what I'm saying. So if you're not in that position, I suggest you open the door to God and let him in, because he'll turn your life around.
Is
That's
that
right.
something that you picked up later in life as well?
Very late.
Very late.
Very late.
Now, my Nonna, I've heard religious talk since I was young. As my dad said, he picked it up late. So it's not like it was talked about much in our house, So that's something that I really, as a child, I was a philosophical person, not necessarily a religious person, but I always felt some kind of pull. And I lost it at times, and it came back at times. But when I was 17, Yeah, 17. I got in some trouble. I was going down the wrong path in life. And, that's when I really didn't know which angle to go in life, what to do. Things were looking not good. And that's when my Nonna, I was living with her and my father at the time. That's when she started to instill religion into my life. And that's when I started to, really search for God, and I had to turn around, So it's funny that she mentions that that's what she wanted to instill and how it took time, but he made his way around. I made my way around. And now we all have a very big faith in God. And I think that's what, drives us on a daily basis. We hit a deeper topic there. Let's do something that can almost be a little fun. This is a topic that we talk about pretty often. It's very common that me and my dad will say, they don't make them like Nonna anymore. It's a rare breed, maybe a non-existent breed anymore. So what would you say, what kind of classic values and traditions and ways of life that you had growing up do you think that this younger generation of women should instill into their life?
Things have changed. People have changed. It's hard to the new generation to tell them certain things that I went through or I believe in, because they don't think like us. They really don't.
Sure. It's almost like the core of it has been lost.
Yeah.
I get it. But if you could give them one thing that they should take from your classic ways and your traditional ways, at least take this one thing with you, what would it be?
Respect.
Respect.
Love, respect, and family, to me, is very, very important.
Wow. That hit pretty deep. Respect on what level? Respect for others, respect for themselves?
For everything. For others, for yourself, for your children, for everybody. It's very, very, very essential.
I agree.
To it makes you a better person. Better things happen when you're a good person.
It almost seems like love, because you said respect, love, and family. Beautiful. It almost seems like love in this day and age has been replaced with lust. Would you agree?
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's destroying communities. I think it's destroying, civilization. I think that's a really deep topic that you hit. Love. People throw around the word love like it's nothing. But that's a deep word, with a lot of essence behind it. I mean, people are having children out of feelings other than love. People are with other people, getting married or just in a relationship out of feelings other than love. And I feel like, this is out of my pay grade a little bit to break it down, but it's like a core thing that's just ruining so many other things, and that comes back to family. If the family's not built on love, what do you got?
Nothing.
Nothing. Right. How do you feel about that topic?
I just think we live in a world where everything is outside, not inside. Everything is what can you do for me instead of what can I do for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's looking out for their best interest. Like my mother said, things have changed, times have changed, life is different. Values have just diminished, and it all goes back to God and faith, and once you get there, you get it. You understand. And that's when you really change as a person. And instead of wanting, you're more about giving, doing good. That's what it boils down to, you know. I think in life, you should help people, you should do good, you should be helpful. Little things, opening a door, saying thank you, being respectful. And that's all changed, and a lot of it starts at home. You know, we could get back into the parenting.
Starts at home, yeah.
My mom, you know, she raised me with tough love, and she made me understand. And she pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and she still pushes it. And that's part of the reason why I am who I am today.
It seems like, and I like that you tied it back into your faith in God, because I feel as if it really does tie back into it. And I feel like people have replaced this desire, this drive for love, respect, family with desires. Like, what sparked that thought in me is when you said things are no longer internal, everything's external. I want my hands on that, I want that, I want that. I like this image, I like that image. I want people to see me this way. Let's get back to internal. Who makes you feel good? Who makes you, you know, instead of worrying about who's going to get me a big mansion, how about who can I be with that even if I come home to a small home where we're packed in, who's going to make it feel like home? You know? Mm-hmm. And that's the difference between chasing love and respect and living a life that way, or living a life that's driven on desires. And I think desires is a killer of truly living life. You know, when you live life just chasing for desires, you never feel content, you never feel good. You know, you're constantly chasing these physical things that are not going to give you any happiness.
The key word is chasing. You know, when you're constantly chasing something, it's only going to get further away from you. When you change it, you switch it up, all you got to do is open up, and it comes to you.
Sure.
You become attractive.
I love that you said this, because there's a quote that I love. You only chase things that are running from you. So if you keep chasing it, it's going to keep running from you. But when you're a good person with a good heart and you worry about your intentions, like she said, love, family, respect, you start to bring these things to you. Mm-hmm. They start to gravitate.
You attract.
You want to attract opposed to chasing something. And that's hard to comprehend when you live in the physical world. Like you said, exterior. Go, grab it. Get interior. Get inside, you know? Get to those core beliefs.
If you want those things to come to you right away, they don't come, and you have to wait for everything. Don't say I want. You have to wait, and everything that we have is given by the Lord. He gives it to us. Our health, our business, money, everything. He is the boss. He's the one who gives us everything.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I think, you know, we spoke a little bit how the morals have changed, you know. Is there anything else that you've noticed that the morals have changed from your old times to today?
A lot of things have changed. A lot of things.
Morally, what do you think? You know?
There's so many things.
Sure.
But I've learned to, if I see something that I don't like, I just try to accept it and move on.
Sure.
You know, I'm not going to argue with people about it. I just, you know, say okay.
Right. You two specifically have really been a team. You know, I think anybody who's seen you guys or know you guys or know behind the scenes a little bit, know that you guys got a special bonds, you know, and you guys really have tackled things together and gone through a lot in life together. Tell me the core, where that started, the roots on how we got to this point. Whichever one of you wants to take the reins on how we got there.
So I'll take this one. So I lost my father at a young age. I was like 10 years old, almost 11. And we had a couple businesses at the time when my father passed, a couple pizza shops. And I had already been dabbling in the business. It started with the making the boxes. And before you know it, I had my hands on the dough. So my father passes, and, I'm off to work with my mom. It's me and her. And, she was short. She couldn't get the pizzas in the oven. She really didn't know how to start a pizza. And I did. So me at like roughly 10 years old, I would start a pizza for her. She would finish it. And then we would put a box of tomato cans by the oven, and she would step on it and put the pizza in the oven. So, I mean, if you want to talk about teamwork, that's some legitimate teamwork. A single mother now, her husband taken in a flash, with 3 children, and she had to, get up and go to work and make this thing happen. And me as a 10-year-old by her side saying, don't worry, we got this. And that's pretty much how it went down.
What's your reflections on that time?
It was rough. It was rough. I was left with the 3 young children, and I had to roll up my sleeves. And I never wrote a bill in my life because I was home raising my family. So what do I do now? I was 32 years old. So we got this pizzeria, and I would go there and work. And like Faro said, we were trying to make pizzas. I would go in the morning. In the afternoon, I would pick him up at home after school, take him to the pizzeria, and work till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. So while you guys were going to Disneyland, I was at Pizza Land. I remember I would make cheesesteaks too. I would throw some meat on the grill, and I'm a little kid, and it was like hurt. I remember my arms hurting from pushing the meat around, and but it molds you, it builds you, and it's part of why I am who I am today.
I know, like, when you guys are watching this on the screen, you almost get, like, desensitized. These are just people on a screen talking about XYZ. These are real human beings, who did something spectacular like that. I mean, that's deeper than the movies go, Most people in a situation like that, you hear that everything goes downhill. We crumble, we fold, everything goes to waste, and that's it. We shrivel away. This was a 10-year-old kid who told his single mother, pick your head up, put your chest up, we're going to do it together. We got this. And that's real life, Me at 10 years old, I lived a very privileged life, Try to put yourself in their shoes. That's crazy. That's a serious experience. But, on the bright side of it, it built character that you don't see in too many people. It gave them really rare attributes to themselves that you don't see in a lot of people, because that's a really rare story. You don't really hear things like that. That being said, we're talking about how we got into the pizzeria, how you guys became a team, and we still see the team today. We got the pizzeria here. Nonna's in the back. She's chefing up in the kitchen. You're getting real homemade stuff now. I mean, take this in, guys. You're getting real homemade stuff from a woman who was born in Sicily and was doing this single-handedly with her 10-year-old kid. I mean, that's true blood, sweat, and tears put into this. And that's what you're eating when you come here. That's serious, There's essence here. There's flavor. There's love. There's struggle. All that goes into what we have here. That being said, I think anybody who's ever tried Nonna's cooking would agree with me and I'm not saying this biased because this is my grandmother. She makes the best food that I have ever tasted in my life. I mean, you know, thankfully we've had the blessing to be able to eat at some really fancy, nice restaurants, but it doesn't compare to a homemade meal cooked at home by this woman. I mean, she is the best cook that I've ever tasted in my life, and that's easy, you know. That being said, what's your secret in the kitchen, Nonna?
Love again.
Love.
Put a lot of love and try to do a good job. And when you taste it, you like. If I like it, I know people are gonna like it too. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're lacking love. Maybe that's why a lot of people's food don't taste so good, because they're lacking love. They got no love in their life.
Listen, seriously, when you come to this pizza shop, it's not just a pizza shop. You know, there is a lot of love that goes into what we do, and it's not just us. Like my staff too. Like I passed on my beliefs and,
Yeah.
and what I want. And if you're not going to do it the way I would do it, you're not going to be here. And you taste it. You taste it in everything that you eat here. It's done from the heart. It's done with passion. All of them. Like my pizza man, he does everything with love. The guys in the kitchen, the guys on the grill. It's different, and it's not because it's mine. But if you come here, you'll see the difference.
Yeah, that's you know, 40 something years of blood, sweat, and tears into this business. Not this business specifically, but 40 years of blood, sweat, and tears that are now being put into this business. And it shows. It shows. Who taught you how to cook? Who got you in the kitchen? When did you start in the kitchen? Where'd you get this from?
I don't know. I just learned from my family. You know, I just learned.
Your mother was a good cook?
Huh?
Your mother was a
No,
good
not
cook?
my mother, but my sisters were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you got it from.
Yeah.
Your sisters.
Her mother was the breadwinner.
The breadwinner.
She was
Yeah.
the tough one.
Okay.
She was tough as nails.
Huh.
My grandfather was soft. He was loving
Yeah.
and caring.
Yes.
My grandmother, she didn't take no shit.
No, she didn't. She didn't like to cook, but she liked to work and make money,
Okay.
and she bought a nice home in New York. Yeah.
So I'm assuming, you know, despite that, was your father cooking? Was he
No.
more of the cook?
No.
So what kind of meals did you get from your mother? Assuming she didn't like to cook, but she was cooking, right?
She was cooking. She would make simple stuff, but
Okay.
the fast way, she knew how to do it.
Right.
But I think my sisters were more involved into
Okay.
cooking.
Now, how many sisters did you have?
2 sisters.
Both older than you?
Yes, I'm the youngest.
Okay. So what did they wanted to spice things up in the kitchen? That's what.
Yeah,
it
they
was?
also were in the restaurant business, and they know how to cook.
Okay. From
Yeah.
young ages, they were in the restaurant business?
No, they started doing it when they moved from Brooklyn to Brigantine. They had a restaurant, and they were running the restaurant. They were cooking.
Okay. So now, your mom being the breadwinner, did your older sisters almost take on that role of taking care of the house and
Oh yes,
housewomen?
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. So that's where that cooking really
Yeah.
came from. Okay. And they taught you how to cook.
We also learn from a restaurant. If you want to learn, you can learn, on your own too. You ask a friend, you always, I didn't make this, I didn't make that, and you learn.
So, you know, we hit the topic that you guys have stayed young, you've stayed healthy, and we've highlighted, a couple things of your choices, but give us a secret recipe here. What's keeping you so young, miss?
I don't know. I learned at a young age, when I was in my 30s, that we fall. We all fall. We all go through tragedies and bad stuff happening to us. And I learned one thing: roll up your sleeves and do what you got to do. And that's called inner strength. And when you do that, and with the help, I go back to God all the time. With His help, you make it. But it has to start from inside of you.
That being said, you're also, something that we didn't highlight. You're a woman of routine. You're a woman of staying on your feet. You're a woman of, if you're not in the kitchen hustling, preparing food for people, then you're out in the garden, taking care of your garden.
That's another
If you're
thing.
not doing that, then you're out at the store, and I'm not saying she's shopping for leisure. She's at the store getting some delicious food to cook for her family, you stay busy. You're in a routine, you're always analyzing what you're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to you and you say, I've been feeling this way, and it's because lately I've been eating fruit in the morning. Or you say, I'm feeling this way because lately I've been having an egg or two in the morning. You're very conscious of what you put in your body.
I do.
You're very conscious of how you live your day-to-day life. So that's some things that I wanted to highlight about that. Where's that come from? Is that natural, or do you know that's something that you need to do to keep yourself young? What keeps you in this routine?
Well, the routine is that it's all about discipline. Discipline what you eat, discipline when you get up in the morning and say, what am I doing today? What appointments do I have? What do I have to do? And you get going, whether you have to go out or stay in the house. What if I have to clean today? What do I have to do? It's all about discipline. Even with the food, with what you do everyday living, whether you have to walk, whatever, you plan for that day and do it. Habits. Yeah.
Habits.
What is it that keeps you driven to live that way? I mean, you're still putting in weekends, making sure the food comes out here, great. You're looking around, you're cleaning up, you're looking at the things that other people aren't looking at. What keeps you driven? What makes you say, you know what, I'm going to start sitting at home and watching TV all day? I'm an older woman. I want to sit back, relax. What gives you that drive?
I don't know. It's who I am. Who God created me to be. It's who I am. I'm not better than anybody else. It's just who I am.
I think it's all starts at home. It's how you were raised. It becomes second nature. If you're raised this way, you're going to do it this way. If you're raised that way, you're going to do it that way.
Yeah.
And those things become instilled in you.
Yeah.
It becomes a part of you, like second nature. Like my house was always neat and clean. So my room was always neat and clean. Like I took care of my clothes. My drawers were always neat. I don't like disarray. I don't like a mess. To me, that's a big no-no. It's a big turnoff. But it was instilled in me.
Right.
Your stuff had to be neat. Fix this, do that.
Right.
And that's what...
You start when they're little.
And that's what
young.
people need to do today when they're raising their kids. Instill good habits.
So we've been sticking to the topic of looking good, feeling good, taking care of yourself. Something, and like, I'm not saying this lightly, I mean it when I say it, and my father will attest, and anybody who knows us will attest. You always look sharp. Always. I mean, you're always dressed to the T. You always look good. There's not a mark on your clothes. Your hair is always done. The makeup looks good. I mean, any way that you could describe it, to the T, she's put together when she presents herself. I mean, to the extent of, as a teenager, when I moved in with her and I saw her wake up and get out of bed, I said, wow, she's actually human. I said, wow, I see her in pajamas. I see her with a little bedhead. Wow, she's actually human. That being said, why is that important to you? Why is that something that, and is that something that came later in life? Were you like that since a child? Why was it important to you to make sure that you're always put together to the absolute T all the time, wherever you go?
So I never knew you admired me so much. And you watch me so much. And you and I go back a long time. We always loved each other. You were my first grandchild. Love you to death, and we could talk forever.
And I love you to death.
I I don't know. It's just, I keep on saying, it's who I am. Who I am. I like to look good, and I take care of it. And I passed it on to my children. And
we're all like that. My
Yeah.
sister, my father was like that. My
oh
father
my
loved to get
God,
dressed.
the whole family. It's just the way they were, what they saw, and that's what they do. And like Faro said, it starts at home.
Sure. It's funny.
It starts when you're little.
It's funny how natural that came. Oh, like, it's funny how, you know, naturally your questions are, that's just who I am. You
Yeah,
know?
it's your genes, who you are.
Right, right.
And I don't do it to impress anybody or to look better than anybody else, because I love people, whether they're dressed, not dressed. I love people, and I always want to help them out in a good way. But that's who I am. You know, you can't change who you are. You are what you
I
are.
hear you. I hear you. Yeah, it's just funny, you know.
I think it's a gift from God. It's a gift. That is a gift.
It's funny how natural everything is to you, you know. I ask you routine, you know, this is rare. You know, you want to look good, that's rare, you know, like, it's funny how natural all that is, you know. It's just me, you know.
We all should look good. Everybody. You got to take care of yourself. God gives us one life. You come in and you go. And He wants you to take care of yourself. He wants you to look good, because if you look good, that's His creation.
Sure, sure.
He wants you to
That's
look
a
good.
beautiful way to put it.
Oh, yes.
That's a beautiful
We are God's creation. And when we're happy and we're doing good, He's happy for us.
Right, right. Yeah.
To me, it's all about presentation is everything. You know, you could be meeting somebody new, and it could be an opportunity. And if you don't look so good, they might not open the door for you. But if you look a certain way or you speak a certain way, that first impression is going to stick with them. Mm-hmm. And it could open a door. And I carry that into everything. I carry it into my business. I carry it into my cars. I carry it into my home. Everything needs to be on point, you know. I see people walking around going to the supermarket or Wawa in their pajamas and their slippers. I'm like, what are you doing?
Couldn't be me.
What are you doing? But you know what? To each his own, man.
Right, right. So, Nonna, what's some of your favorite dishes that you like to cook outside of Milano's and inside of Milano's?
Okay, at home I like to cook pasta with sauce, chicken, fish, salads, a lot of salads, and but I like to make stuff special for Faro too. Here I make the lasagna, and I make the soups. And I just like being here. You know, I feel like this is home also for me. You know, I come in on the weekends, you know, part-time, and I take care of the plants. I talk with the guys. I bring them fruits, cakes, because they love that. And then I just like coming here and talk with people. It makes me feel good. It gets me out of the house, and I keep busy. It gets me out.
Some of my personal favorites, I love her lasagna. That's probably my favorite meal that she makes here. Her lasagna is delicious. Outside of the shop, she makes a pasta fagioli. It's not like the soup. It's different. Like when she makes dishes, she's making dishes that you never heard of. You don't even know exist. This is a different kind of pasta fagioli. It's more of a pasta dish. It's delicious. That's one of my favorites. Her meatballs are out of this world. But everything she makes is very good. You know, when she mentions I make chicken, XY, the fish, It's not what you're thinking. It's over the top. It's extra. It's different. It's delicious. Um, that being said, I mean, listen, there's a lot that we need to unravel here. We're almost done. Just 1 minute.
Yeah, you can cross right back.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're good. Sorry. No, don't be sorry. You guys are going to be in the shop. Okay.
That being said, having Nonna on as a guest, there's a lot to unravel. This was really just the introduction. So look forward to some new episodes coming out with Nonna as a guest, because there's so much more to unravel. We can really get into the nitty-gritty details. Other than that, is there anything else that you guys want to leave off with?
No, I would just like to say that what impresses me the most about my family is that they come here with nothing. They come here with the bare minimum, and they really turn into something special. And I'm glad to be a part of that. I appreciate it. And I'm grateful for it. That's it.
Nonna, what note do you want to leave the people with?
I'm very happy to come to America. I love America. I love Italy too. It's beautiful, but America is what gave us a way of living, a better way of living, and I love it.
Beautiful.
And we grew with times.
God bless you guys. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in. This is episode 5 of Pizza Time. Look out for episode 6. And look out for the future episodes with Nonna, where we really dive into the weeds. We get into the nitty-gritty details.
Wow.
It might be a little bit longer, but we'll really get in there and we'll make it very entertaining. Treat this as just the intro to Nonna. That's it. Other than that, we love you guys. God bless you guys. Peace and blessings to everybody.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. God bless. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. I want to say something. Thank you both for having me here. I love you both.
Love
Till
you.
I die.
Love you.